Not only did Dillon Danis prove that he's one of the worst fighters to ever lace up a pair of boxing gloves, but he let down millions of people by not doing what he said he was going to do, or even a fraction of what he said he was going to do. Also, please don't let this knockoff Daniel Cormier commentate a single boxing fight ever again. And this was a big fight not only for Logan Paul in defending his legacy and honor and his family in the boxing ring, but this was a fight obviously for Dillon Danis too, to see if he could walk the walk, not just be a keyboard warrior. At first I thought Dillon was going to take the same approach that Floyd took against Conor, and that he's going to tire out Logan in the sense that I'm just going to walk forward with my hands up and hope that Logan basically, for lack of a better term, blows his wad in the first few rounds. This shot right here had all the power of Roman Reigns and the WWE gods, because this is where Dillon became a human punching bag. His game plan was kind of sort of working at this point, if you want to say, but Logan was going off, and this is where he truly showed that this was his fight and that Dillon wasn't going to be doing anything to fight back. Also, why did these commentators keep on calling Logan Jake Paul? Like, do your homework, you idiots. At this point in the fight, 2 rounds in, 6 minutes in, Dillon's not doing the basics. He's not using his jab to try and counteract Logan's attacks, especially because he has Logan on the back foot. Then Logan did the old school Nick Diaz versus Anderson Silva. That's not going to work, especially when he's throwing little to none offense. At this point, the only good shot that Dillon landed was when he landed the microphone on Logan's dome during the press conference. But in all seriousness, these were probably the 2 best punches that Dillon landed the entire fight. This check right hook, and had he kept on throwing it these last 3 rounds, maybe Dillon would have had a better outcome. Like Nate Diaz and like Tyron Woodley and all these MMA fighters that crossed over into boxing, I think they underestimate these YouTubers and thinking that they don't have the skills to embarrass them. And this is the perfect example of that. This right here had me absolutely befuddled, and it made me think, all right, maybe Dillon can't beat Logan in an MMA fight because he couldn't even take Logan down. What the fuck? The crowd was back in favor of Logan Paul, and even more so when Dillon Danis tried this fuckery. He wasn't winning 1 second of this fight and had to pull a Nate Diaz like what he did against Jake Paul and started throwing more punches at the security guards than he did at Logan Paul. Now, if you had a Nate Diaz type of resume, then you could pull off stunts like that. But when Dillon doesn't, that's what makes this look even more embarrassing. Now, I know this fight didn't live up to its expectations, especially for the fact that both of these men promised a knockout and they didn't deliver. And it was like a Jordan Peele movie in the sense that the preview was better than the actual movie itself. But I thought Logan handled this extremely well, did all his talking in the ring, and he who laughs last laughs the hardest.